Hello and welcome to our Home Team All-Star Series. I'm Mike Max. She is fighting a cancer that keeps coming back. Her son has learned to live with cerebral palsy and is thriving because of his upbeat attitude. The community they live in and their childhood friends are making sure that the Doe's family is feeling the love like only a small town can. Tice is just 12 years old. He suffers from cerebral palsy, but he's a huge sports fan, especially the Vikings. You kind of like the Vikings, though, don't you?
A lot.
How come?
Well, because they're a good team.
Yeah. Does it bother you when they lose?
Yeah.
He's always been drawn to sports and the teams and the people.
He is a die-hard sports fanatic. Anything Minnesota sports. He knows all the stats. He knows everything.
On this night in Becker, the community comes together for a fundraiser. Tice is in the middle of it, but the night is actually for the entire family. You would never know it watching her, but Christy was diagnosed with cancer 2 years ago, and it has spread. She spends most days in bed void of energy, but this event brings out her best, if only for a few hours.
Overwhelming, humbling, just to see the outpour of support and love that this community.
It is here they forget how sick she is, and it is here they are reminded that people care a lot.
Words can't describe the emotions that were going through my body at that time.
Christy grew up in a sports-minded family, and she learned life is difficult when she was a senior.
My mom passed away of cancer when I was a senior in high school.
Her dad was a Hall of Fame high school baseball coach who died suddenly a decade ago.
And then when my father passed away just 10 years ago, again, had all that support. It's just different coming from a small community.
Her husband played for her father, and we first met him in 1990 when he was a member of the Arlington Baseball Park grounds crew as a 12-year-old. Now he's part of her team in a different way.
God wouldn't have put us in this situation if he didn't think we could handle it. So,
with help.
Correct.
And you find out you get a lot of help out there, don't you?
We get a lot of help out there.
They held a strikeout cancer game when the high school softball team played this week. The people, including Tice's teacher, are part of a network.
Whatever maybe she can't do for him, we're trying to pick up the slack. You know, we started a meal train and started sending meals home, so that was less off her plate, so she could just reheat it.
It is Tice and brother Niles and sister Macy that keep Christy focused on family and focused on her path.
I need to be here for, so.
Does it keep you going every day?
That's my fight. They are my reason to keep going.
You know, when times get tough, you think about that, huh?
Yep. I just have to keep going. And every morning, I thank God for one more day.
And it is sports that keep Tice occupied, including meeting Byron Buxton before a Twins game.
I told Buxton to hit a home run.
Yep.
Next thing you know, he did.
He did it the day you were there?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. They might want to bring you down a little more often these days. They could have used that last night.
Yeah.
On this night, they are reminded of it all. And in a world that has become filled with uncertainty for them, Christy stays committed to her journey and, in the process, to her family and friends.
It's a good feeling coming from a small community, knowing that everyone is there to help me, help our family if we need it.
He was in the headlines 7 years ago. A head injury in a hockey game left him paralyzed. But Matt Olson is thriving because of the hockey community. And this week, with the aid of a Minnesota company and one Viking quarterback. Matt Olson grew into a very good hockey player at Totino Grace High School. But it was in a junior game playing for Chicago he sustained an injury that left him paralyzed. It captivated the hockey community.
He will face these challenges with the same work ethic and tenacity that made him a great hockey player.
7 years later, he lives at his now fitted home, and it is filled with hockey jerseys from people like his friend Anders Lee from the New York Islanders. He has built a model railroad town as part of his passion for his new life. So too is hunting, especially for deer. And he's done 2 years of college and hopes to graduate with an outdoor science degree from St. Cloud State University.
I've always had passion for the outdoors and getting out, and so that's what I'm kind of doing with my degree. And this will allow me to get out in the field and do field work if I have to.
And that's what takes us to this day. Action Manufacturing out of Marshall got a call from a hockey man asking them to consider building an ATV for Matt.
Well, Matt, besides hockey, his other passion was hunting and the outdoors, and obviously he was limited that he couldn't go do that with a standard wheelchair. And the folks in Marshall, produced this track chair, and we just thought, how can we get Matt in one of these so he can get in the great outdoors?
Oh man, look at that thing.
On this day, he is presented with his personal ATV and a prototype that could change the future for other accident victims.
I love the color.
Yep, camouflage.
That turned out so good.
Really appreciative to the Olson family for actually helping us through. It took long, but we wanted to do it right, so it was a little bit of a process, but here we are.
But to understand how this all came together, there is a football connection. Kirk Cousins saw the first model and met Matt. That's what he decided, to fund the entire cost of it out of his foundation.
That's truly special what Kirk Cousins Foundation did, and truly amazing, and thankful for them to bring that financial piece into making this happen.
Even Cousins could not have predicted what it would be like on this day, when Matt Olson was able to go where he had not gone before.
Like right here, I haven't been back here since my accident, 7 years.
So it's your first time that you can just stroll back here because you can't.
Yeah, I could never go back. I mean, I could, but it would never be like this smooth or...
Just a stroll through the backyard meant much more to Mom and Dad.
It's hard to put into words because it's going to open up so many possibilities for him.
Because Matt Olson has a new lease on life. Because Matt Olson has a new avenue to freedom. And because Matt Olson has a forward-thinking attitude on everything.
He's got a sign in there, it is what it is, but it'll become what you make of it. And that's what he's doing.